Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, we've already gotten started here. Just hello, welcome to our friendship journey. If you're in, go ahead and share, like this message so other people can be a part of it. But y'all, we were just in the middle of a real deep conversation. I mean, this is serious. This is a real thing, and I'm so confused. Okay, and so we have to talk about it before we even get there, because of course, last time we had our verses, and so there's always a thing with Android versus iPhone. But we're not even there yet. I think we're kind of done with that conversation. The conversation now is liking on Facebook. We are kind of confused with the like versus the love. How do you know to pick one or the other? Do people get offended if you do like and don't love?
They do. They do.
Love, yeah.
Like, but she loved this one. Right. And it's so petty. But the thing is that I think sometimes people are cautious about who they like, whose statuses they like or love, especially when it comes down to like couples and married people, because some females would be like, why does she love my husband's quote? Or why does she love, you know what I'm saying? But you just never know. And I've seen how sometimes people get caught up in that. It's like, why does she comment on so and so's page? Or why did he comment on so and so or whatever? So it's like, you got to be careful with those emojis.
You do, and I honestly believe that's why my husband was like. I think he learned from MySpace. For real, he was like, I'm not going into this situation. Like if anybody love, he don't. I mean, he probably do like some pictures. And I mean, now that I think about it, I used to joke about it, but I think it's probably a good thing, because imagine if because you get the message when they like a picture. Imagine if there's some swimsuit models and stuff that he like it, and I'm looking like,
I don't look like that. Oh, I ain't gonna bust my husband out. I ain't about to bust
Please
him
don't
out.
bust him
I ain't
out.
gonna bust him out. But before we got married, I'll say this before we got married. No. Okay.
Shout out to Keisha.
So
I wasn't offended by it. That's the thing. I wasn't offended, but still, okay, Casey.
she gave me the look,
All right.
she gave you that look. I should give you the look, like, that's all.
That's my homie.
But I'm still caught up on the camera. I think that one is so weird. Like I hit it one time and was like, oh, like take it off. Like
And see, that's my go-to. That's my middle ground. That's my middle ground. Because to me, it's between like and love, and it's just showing that you care, especially if it's like a cute picture of a baby, or if it's like.
So if you feel like the baby not really cute, you're not gonna get love. You're gonna get care.
no, you put
I'm definitely not gonna put love. I'm definitely not gonna put love unless it's like my somebody. Because I don't love your kid. Like I think it just stands for like what you have, your intent. You know what I'm saying? Because for some people, like somebody I went to school with and I ain't talked to in 20 years, now I'm loving your baby pictures. Like I don't know where the middle ground is with that other than care.
I use the care one when it comes to, like you say, people who I went to high school with, the people who are my friends. They be like, pray for my mama, she in the hospital. Well, I don't love her. You don't care about that. I care about that.
And that's what I thought.
I lost my family members, so I care. Like I care, but
Yeah.
women, I believe you.
Yeah.
Because there's been six of us, and we all like, I don't know, like
I still start liking from here.
I'm extreme. I either like it or I love it, and that's it.
and that's it.
You never do the angry one every now and then. Sad.
You don't do the laughing one,
Why are you so emotional? It's social media.
but you laugh though, right? If you see something that's funny,
I
that
might
make you laugh,
but
you
I'm
don't
not
get
gonna
that
go to
laughing.
laugh. She likes it. I like
You
it.
like it. You're not gonna do.
Usually for jokes, I just bypass them.
Now, do y'all use the sad face of crying one?
That's too emotional
I
on
use-
social media.
See, I use that before, like if there's a tragedy or somebody
Yeah.
has a loss or something, and then I'll put the
Well-
praying hands as a comment or whatever. Sometimes I don't even put that. It depends on, I guess, who it is.
I'm gonna use the praying hands if I feel like I'm really gonna pray for you.
Mhm.
Like I feel like people just do it.
Right. That's
And
why I do
praying
it in
about
the
nothing.
moment.
It's just like
That's why I do it. That's why I do it in the moment.
Right, yeah.
Then you'll forget, and
You'll
now you're a
forget.
liar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do
Now
it
you
right
see,
there.
yeah.
I do it then, like,
Facebook.
I'm gonna say that prayer right then and there. Lord, touch the person right then.
I'm not big on
That's on
social
there.
media, but I will say y'all were very
responsible social media users because y'all are like super thoughtful and like what y'all liking, like all this stuff, and it's like that's cool.
It is.
But like it really is, and you just kind of look back at it. It's like that's cool that y'all actually think that much. And
But think about their love language, right? It's especially Michelle, like she's that person as far as that caring, and she wants those words of affirmation. So yeah, exactly. So it makes sense. I'm the one that's a little confused, like, yeah, I can see it, I can do it, I'm sure don't know. I get it.
do you be loving stuff?
I do love stuff though. I do. Like some stuff and I laugh at stuff too, because some stuff be funny. I need to know like, hey, that was funny, dog. I don't know where you got this meme from or what story your
That's
child.
hilarious
It
to me.
was hilarious. I need you to know that I was laughing. I probably had to show y'all, I probably screenshotted it and sent it to y'all. So
Right. Then too, it's a way to let people know that you're thinking about them, like a quick, hey, I saw what you posted, or I'm concerned about what you posted, or whatever. I have been able to reach out to some friends who was having rough times in their lives just by seeing what they posted on Facebook or whatever.
right.
And just to kind of leave a comment or a like or, a care to let them know, hey, I acknowledge what you posted and I'm concerned about you, or I like what you posted to let you know that I know you posted this for a reason. Because everybody got different reasons for posting stuff.
Right, definitely.
And I get it. I think, you think about women just period in general. Like a lot of women have those same qualities where they need those words of affirmation, and they want to be liked, and they want to somebody to notice the things that they're doing. And so I think it's good that we do that and that we continue to do that. So shout out to all the ladies that are doing this.
Did y'all say that I my love language is words of affirmation?
No, that's not.
Oh,
I'm just pointing at you.
Oh, okay.
You are the one, you try to make sure everybody okay. So that makes sense to me. Like a comforter.
Yeah.
My thing is that the thought process behind picking the one. Like I got it. Okay, that's what I really was thinking about. But I know her words of affirmation. That's not yours. But like she said, you take care of everybody, so you're always thinking to make sure that you're saying the right thing at the right time. So that you always do that. So I can see you actually thinking about that.
Putting too much thought into it.
Too much thought.
I have put on a light and taking it off, and put on the love and taking it off. I'm like, that's
I know.
me.
Yeah, I know. And now what I have done, I scroll past some things. I'll be like, I know the back end is, I ain't about to comment or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
It's too much.
it's too much drama. I know you can feel that people sometimes on social media, people only show their best foot
That's why
forward.
I'm taking.
And that's why I don't get on, like, if I'm on Facebook, like, I really don't do Facebook like that, like, for real. Because it's like,
much
book of lines, like, stuff like whatever. I really don't do that. Instagram, I don't look at people's stories. I get that for more of information, what's going on in social media, things like that. I'm really not on people's pages like that.
Yeah.
But all you see on Facebook, and I'm like, oh, I can't do Facebook.
Right.
When I remember about 7 years ago, I used to be on Facebook kikiing
Yeah.
all the time. But now it's kind of like, I ain't trying to see that.
That was just
with
keeping contact.
Keep in contact with certain people. You see me post my grandbabies because I'm proud of them. And y'all better look.
Or event.
Did you take
But when it comes to those pictures, I send it to my homegirls first. Like before they even posted it,
us?
I send it to y'all. Like y'all saw Baby John before.
You said,
Right. It's
Most of us saw Baby John. It's one.
Yeah,
One person.
right. What's on exclusive? Right. That's right.
Most of the time during the week.
But when it comes to that, like most, like, I'm sending to my friends, my family, that kind of people who are closest to me first, who will definitely celebrate me sincerely,
Right.
when it comes to that. But absolutely, I'm going to send something that I'm proud of.
Sincerely.
Sincerely.
That
I'm
like
Italian. Who was that? The Godfather.
She was for real about that thing.
Yeah, sincerely, we're going to be happy.
Like and
Huh?
love.
Huh?
Do you go check and see who liked and love?
I do, because I know who the haters are.
See, that's what I'm talking
I'll
about.
be looking for the haters for real.
I'm confused. You go back.
You can see like or love.
Oh,
your
okay,
pictures.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I do. I look at it.
I look at the comments
Now,
and
Wow.
if their name is already there, if their name is already there, it's like this. I see
Right.
that.
Yeah,
But I don't go and say, let me see who went and liked and loved, and let me go down the list.
If I do that, it's because I'm always thinking about people that I can tag in certain stuff. Like when it comes to like stuff that we're doing, sometimes I'm hesitant about tagging certain people. But if I go back and see who liked it or loved it, then I'm like, okay, they may be cool with me tagging them
Oh,
in
because they
certain
like it or
things
whatever.
because they, yeah.
Oh,
But like I don't really worry about like because some things I may have 3 people, I may have 25,
Yeah,
I may
that's
have
fine.
75. So
yeah, me
like
too.
that would drive me crazy if I go back. But one time I did go back and look, and I started to develop the mentality that you don't like my stuff, I ain't liking your stuff. And I was like, that's too much. So I was like, I'm not even gonna look at it.
That's why I'm still gonna be me.
Yeah.
But it just let me know who the haters are. Like,
So how do you determine the haters and who liked or loved it?
maybe I didn't see it.
Right. That's what I'm
They
thinking.
say they liked it and they didn't love it. Is that what you're saying?
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
I have levels to this.
Okay,
Oh.
level.
So,
You supposed to love Layla. When I post Layla, it's like,
that was like, that was like,
now you just thinking something just to dig. But you ain't on my grandbaby.
but do you feel?
See, I thought she was going to look and see who liked or loved period, like who did. That's what I thought she was saying.
Yeah. No, you
And I
can
think that was years ago, like when Facebook first came out.
And she looked.
Now, here's what I was on Tuesday one time. When I posted my grandson, somebody put the cares.
It probably was me.
No, it wasn't you.
Oh. Cause I know randomly, I don't know.
No, I remember the name.
But why is
What, that's so sweet.
That's so sweet, like,
She with a heart. So I'm like,
Anything that requires too much, I'm out.
I usually I don't do social media, right? Too much.
it does get overwhelming. And that's why I had to like, every now and then I'll post certain things, events and stuff like that, but it becomes overwhelming. It's a lot of thought that you have to put into it, like that whole life thing.
Yeah.
I was caught up in that years ago when Facebook first became big, and I was like, okay, I'm going too deep with this. I'm not even doing this anymore.
Yeah.
So
But people, it's a thing. People really get caught up. They're waiting for those likes and loves and all those things. And so we just want to tell the women out here, it ain't that serious.
No.
It's loving your own picture.
Yeah.
Loving your own picture.
Don't
Do
do
not comment on
Yeah,
it.
don't
Don't see your photo.
You love.
Do not answer a question from your caption in your comments.
But we love a picture of your grandbaby.
So if I'm
Your child. You love your birthday and now
wait, that might be an educator thing, because I know there's a lot of educators do that because we're modeling what we want people to do.
That is what I want these kids to do.
Make your own stuff.
My kids will not be satisfied with participation.
So she said, if you make a post, you shouldn't like or love your post that you
Because
post.
you already like it, because you posted
You
it.
posted it. It resonated with you. It's
Right.
fine.
Hey,
That's why you posted it.
I don't think it matters because if it's there for me to click on, I'm gonna like it. I don't do that, but I'm just thinking other people might think about it like, if it's illuminated for me to like, love, or laugh, I'm gonna do it.
But this is what I do. Let me tell you, and I've done it mine before, like after it's old, or maybe even next year. I'm like, because that's the best
It's the memories.
Facebook,
Yeah,
it's the
the
memories. So
memories.
when it comes back, I'm like, oh,
So
I
then you
like
might
it.
like it. Yeah, that it came back
So
up.
a year later, or 5 years later,
So 2018, that's what I don't like.
Because I feel like now this is the see, it's too deep. Like I said, I will not do that. Because if I go back and like it recently, it's gonna bring it up on my new post. So they'll see that I liked it or I commented, and people gonna think, oh, she's looking for more likes or something like
Because when they didn't look at the date to see that you posted that in 2018.
Now, I don't like people doing stuff from 3 years ago. I'm gonna bring it back up.
Oh,
Fresh.
oh.
I'm like, oh, bring it up.
Right, whatever it means.
You want to say something again about it?
But that's because somebody knew that you befriended, somebody knew now commented on it, so now it brings it current.
No, I'm saying if Brandy likes or comments on an old post,
Mhm.
it's gonna bring that post back up.
Right.
So it's not somebody new posting it or commenting on it. It's me saying, hey, like the other day, it was our anniversary. And my anniversary video popped up 2 days later.
Mhm.
And I watched that video and I was like, oh, but I wasn't about to like it again or love it. Because that's like me saying, hey, I want y'all to see this again. But that was really for me to see my memory at that time.
Oh, I didn't know
And
it
go
in circle.
It does.
It recycles. It pulls it back up for
Yeah.
people to see.
Well,
it again.
okay. Oh, y'all gonna get mine.
Right.
But all right, guys, ladies, we're gonna get into tonight. We had to get that out though.
Yes.
We wasn't finished with that because it was concerning. It was on my heart, and I needed to get some clarity on it. So just a couple things, friends and family and ladies, all those that are in podcast land, we do have some news to share. Good and bad news, right?
Not bad necessarily. No.
Well, it's bad because they're not going to be here.
Yes, sad.
Bad, not bad. You're right.
Sad.
Sad. It's a bittersweet moment, and that's exactly
That's it.
that's exactly what I take today. But we do have two ladies. As you can see, it's only 6 of us at the table today. And 2 of our ladies are no longer part of the podcast realm and those type of things because they have moved. They're moving on to different avenues, different things going on, and so different cities, just a lot going on. And so shout out to our sister Karen.
Yes. Moving to Austin.
Yes, and our sister Tony. We love you ladies. We know you are out there listening.
Yes. Absolutely.
And you know, they still our friends. And so just to let you know what we say, we actually do live. I talked about it maybe about a month or so ago, and I was saying how, you know, things happen, you know, people move, positions change, things shift, and there was a shift in the atmosphere, and that's exactly what happened here. And you have to be able to adjust, you have to be able to accept it and keep moving. And hey, we still friends. We still got our Bible study group going on. Shout out, I believe Tony, it's your turn, so make sure you pick that Bible verse. No, it's your turn. No, Burns. It's Burns. Yeah, my bad. My bad. It's Burns. She's sitting right here. So make sure that you continue to be with us. Don't silence our text message group. We know you won't. So shout out to y'all, ladies. We love you. Now it's time for CC with the T.
All right.
Well, so this weekend we have our Pink Out Walk.
Yes.
Pink Out Walk for Breast
First
Cancer
annual.
Awareness Month, and it'll be this Saturday, October 30th at Trinity Trails Park.
Yeah.
3301 Trinity Park Drive at 11:30. Beat us there. Don't meet us there. Beat us there.
Yes.
And it's gonna be great. So we can't wait to see y'all. And all proceeds are going to my sister Keeper in Cleveland. So feel free to donate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not Tennessee.
Cleveland. So if you feel free to donate, you can go to ourfriendshipjourney.org and click the tab to donate.
Thank
That's it.
Yes, come through with the tea. Thank you for that tea. It's gonna be exciting. I'm actually going to get my mammogram on Friday, ladies, and so I encourage all of you as well as all our listeners to make sure you do that. When that I think it's at 40 is when my mother was pressuring me to start going to make sure I get that annually. So make sure you get it. All you out there, if you haven't had an appointment recently, make sure you get out there. I'm going Friday, and then we're going to go and have our walk on Saturday. So I'm excited and encouraged about that. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you ladies there. And then if you can't come, make sure you donate. Give a couple dollars because it will be going to a great cause.
I have a question for our listeners, and I want them to respond to this via our Facebook page or our YouTube page. Put it in the comments because, like my sister said, before it used to be 40, and then when I went to my doctor very recently, they said 50 for your mammograms. So you put in a comment, what is your doctor's advice for you? What is the best time to get a mammogram? And especially those of you who have suffered from breast cancer. What did your doctor tell you about when you should have gotten a mammogram? I'm looking forward to see your comments and what you have to say and what your doctor's advice has given you.
That's different now.
Mhm.
That's because we are sisters. I can
Yeah.
ask this question. Did they know like that your grandmother had breast cancer, that your great grandmother had breast cancer?
So what they're saying is at 40, they had so many false negatives.
Mm.
And so many women went down that trail of breast cancer that even though I do disclose my history, that it's best to get that history. So
Mm.
yeah, I just want to know what are doctors saying now? Like when did you get your mammogram? If it's not too personal, what advice would you give other ladies now when it comes to that? I would like to see what's happening now. That
We
was
have
my
that, go ahead. I was gonna say, we have that history in my family. My grandmother passed away from breast cancer, so my doctor told me 40.
okay.
And see, that was my concern because of my genetic makeup, that I would have some false negative.
Mhm.
And so, my OB was like, be careful who let do the test because they need to know what your makeup entails
Mhm.
so that they don't provide those false negatives.
Okay.
Because sometimes you could just appear to have some of those, different lumps and things going on,
Mhm.
and it may not be, cancerous, but then they want to go in and they want to determine if it's benign and all of that,
Mhm.
and that may not even be the case. And so, just considering, that it is it's a money game,
Right.
and so, just undergoing those tests and doing chemo is big money in that. And so, just knowing your body
Mhm.
and knowing, who you can trust when it comes down to having those tests done and just listening to the Lord and being prayerful as well, because, God will tell you if you need to move forward with that. But, I think just having a good GYN
Yeah.
that can determine based on your own, genetic makeup or physical makeup, if that exists or not.
Right. Because that's good that your doctor said that. And so him or he or she, made you aware of that. Because you will like to know that you would have false negatives is how you say it.
Mhm.
That's a good thing to know.
Mhm.
All right. Well, ladies, let's get down to this quote. The one we waiting on our very own Cecile. I'm gonna go ahead and read the quote and then see. We gotta remember. I know, better known as Cece. Her quote was, "A friend is someone who understands your past, believes in your future, and accepts you just the way you are."
Mhm.
And that author is unknown. So Cece, go ahead. You're gonna go ahead and start it off. When you hear those words, when you hear that quote again, why did you choose that quote? What made that quote the quote? Like when you saw that, oh, this is the one. Talk to us.
Um, I chose that quote because um I've had past experiences where I had quote unquote friends, or I thought they were friends, and um I would share my secrets. I would let them into my secret place. And then when something happens, like they would use my past against me. And so I've come to learn that um, I'm going to be me. And everything in my past, whether it was right or wrong, you know, it is what it is. God forgave us, so I'm not asking for forgiveness from nobody but God. So
Thanks.
I am me, and I'm glad to be amongst this circle of sisters where I can be me, regardless of my past, my present, or my future, not be judged.
Ooh, that's the word.
Right.
So that's why this quote resonated with me, because I felt like I can be me without being judged about what I do in my personal life or with my kid or whatnot. So
That was
that's
good.
Yeah, that's good.
That was deep. And it could also what I thought about as you were talking, that could have allowed you just because of the past. And these are, situations that we've been through, not just me, but others that we go through in friendship. And so these things happen where they judge you, like you said, you were judged based on your past or your present or how you did things. And then that's where you can offense. Remember that word we heard? That's where that comes in, where you could be like, you know what? I can't really deal with women. You know what I'm saying? That's where those things start. Right there, when people that are so-called friends do things like that to you, and then immediately that wall is up. Now we got walls and walls because we've talked about having walls up, having those things up to protect ourselves, to protect our heart, to protect ourselves from getting hurt. That's a big issue. Anybody else just want to jump in talking about that quote? A friend is someone who understands your past, believes in your future, and accepts you just the way you are.
I think it's somebody you kind of learn your journey. I think, everybody has a past, good, bad, or indifferent. You can't change it. And truth be told, it probably shaped you into who you were because of those experiences. And so when I think about a friend, it's somebody that's along for the ride. And you're going to fall, you're going to make bad choices and mistakes, but it's that person that's right there with you that's encouraging you to get back up and telling you the good and the bad. I think it's a good balance between the both. And they're with you to make sure that you are your best self.
Mhm.
And I think people lose sight of that.
Mhm.
A friend is to push you into the next step. And so when you were talking actually about Carolyn and Tony, that's how I looked at it.
Right.
When we came into the journey, we said we're starting out as 8, but it's gonna change
Right.
because God is gonna do something to each of us individually, and that may bring us together collectively, or for them to go out and kind of create their own journeys now
Right.
within their own kind of new groups or whatever they establish. But I look at that, Steve. Shout out to you.
Love it, love it. What you got?
So I'm just thinking about our experiences. And so, when we think about our past, and I think Cece said it too, when people have this idea of who you are, and then they decide to judge you on those ideas or based on, their relationships with you, it allows you to create these walls, and so you create these walls and you create these barriers, and decide that, the next friends that come along, you're not going to let them in. And I think in my experience, I have done that and done that well, because I'm hard on the outside, but on the inside, I'm really soft. And a lot of people don't know that. And so all they see is this hard Jersey girl, who, yes, I'm going to defend myself when I need to, but at the same time, I also need that love. You know what I'm saying? And so what ends up happening is, when those walls come up, then it's like you don't want to allow yourself to be vulnerable with other women because it's like, dang, when I let my walls down, women abuse me. Yeah, I got hurt and women abuse me. And so I always say I am who I am, and it takes some real, let me just say this, and I'm not even saying this to toot my own horn or, to make myself be better than anybody else.
But only Tootie girl.
But I think it takes a real woman to be my friend.
Ooh, you come on now.
It takes a real woman to be my friend.
Look at me.
It takes a real woman to be my friend. It is a long journey with me because I don't think of myself as being easily understood. I feel like I get people bits and pieces of me in stages. You know what I'm saying? I'm always pushing the envelope. I'm always pressuring because I want to see how much you can handle. Are you gonna let me? Or you won't, you know what I'm saying? And so sometimes it's not even about me doing that to them, but it's about me understanding, can you understand me? Because it's all in love. It's never an intent to be hurtful. It's never an intent to try to tear anybody down or anything like that. But it's I want you to be able to see me and I want to be able to see you. You know what I'm saying? Because some people will try to pull the wool over your eyes, like they this, and that, and then you let them in and then they abuse you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, no, show me you right here, right now. Show me you right here, right now. I need to know who you are so I can decide how you fit, into my life. And so I like that she chose that quote because, we learn from our past experiences, and we decide how we move forward in those relationships. And so I think that's important to me because, it's like we gotta at some point the walls come down, but it's like, do you still have those same people in your life when those walls do come down?
Exactly. I like that.
Mhm.
I like that. And Krisha, like I'm listening to you and I agree and I see a lot of how I am and how I move in situations with the way you were saying. Um, and I think a lot of it comes with what we were talking about earlier, just about our calling and different things and how God deals with us and showing us, different ways. Um, but with me, I think I'm a little bit more open in the beginning, where you're a little bit more guarded in the beginning, and it takes you a while. Like I'm a little more open in the beginning. So God shows me who people are immediately. And so he's like, are you going to take it? Or are you going to leave it? How you going to operate in this situation? And so immediately I can see who people are and I immediately categorize people. And that's a stumbling block for me sometimes when it comes to how I categorize people. Like I said in the beginning, no new friends, because I had already been hurt. And so in my mind, it was the people who were in my past that saw me grow in Christ. I felt like those were the only people that could understand me because the new people I had already categorized. Oh, I see who you are. You cool, you this, but I don't know if you can understand. You see who I am today, but can you understand the fullness and the growth of Michelle? You know what I'm saying? Casey Church. Remember she had that's how she no, you lied. She said she changed you. That was one of her categories. Casey. Church. I had my church. I had my school folks.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I was like,
That.
yeah, absolutely.
That.
You do categorize people as okay, these are my church friends, these are my the church people that I go to church with, these are the people I go to work with, these I know my friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the bill collector, like whoever is calling me at the time, like, yeah, I need to know, like this is this person.
Right.
So everybody has a category, and that's what I did. I categorized everyone because
What's the difference between that and judging?
I don't think so far as I don't think it was a judgment as far as me not letting them into my personal space. Because like Krisha says, it takes a special person. And I joke about it all the time. To be able to take all of this. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry. Right, I need a pillow. But no, seriously, so it takes special people to be able to understand me. And I feel like sometimes I can be complicated when it comes to my thoughts and how I feel. But a lot of that complication came from where God, I posted a video on Instagram. It was a snippet of a message that came from Sunday at Dr. T.D. Jakes' church. And he's not a doctor, it's just T.D. Jakes. Is he a doctor? Bishop. Yeah, Bishop T.D. Jakes' church. And it was a man talking about everything that you went through was necessary in your life. And he named so many different things. And he's like, it was necessary. And we talked about this earlier about how me just embracing every part of my journey and not trying to control it or
Deny
suppress
it.
it,
Oh.
suppress it, deny it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay. God knew, like, I don't have to suppress who I am
Right.
to appease others. Because if I have to do that in front of you, then that's not who God called me to in the first place.
Right.
God called me to a set of people. So if I gotta dumb down or sugarcoat stuff around you, then you not
Right.
who is in my sight. Like, I love you, sis. I love you from a distance, always will never do that. But however, if I gotta dumb down myself, then you're not the people who I was called to
Right.
in the beginning. So it's not necessarily a judgment. It's just me coming into, at the beginning, it was me guarding my heart because of the hurt that I had been through and stuff. But now I feel like, okay, I know, and I'm accepting the totality of Michelle instead of saying it's, everybody can't accept me, which is true.
Right.
And I'm good with that now.
You're right.
And before I felt like I gotta hide it, but I don't.
Right. And see, for me, on the other side of that, I think it was a matter of once I let those friends in, not holding them accountable to treating me the way that I was supposed to be treated.
Yeah.
Because when I love a person, I try to love them with my whole heart.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's what the Bible commands that we do, that we love, and show love.
Right.
And so that's how the hurt
Mhm.
began to happen, because, oh, now you think you know me, now you think you can mistreat me and talk to me crazy. Or what I'm about to do is X, Y, Z, and 1, 2, 3. And then I'm not gonna dismiss you, I'm gonna dismiss myself, because you're not worthy of being my friend, because now I don't let you into you done got beyond the ice, and now you rounding the cake on the good part of who I am. And so now you think I'm a softie, and you think I'm gonna continue to love you through this abuse. But that's not gonna happen. Because that's the thing, when you love a person, sometimes you make exceptions for their foolishness, as a friend, because then they say, oh, well, this is just who I am.
Right.
No, that who you are, you gonna be without me, just who you are. You know what I'm saying? And so I had to learn how to, and so, you pick and choose your battles, because we're all different. You have different friends, different personalities, and you pick and choose your battles. And sometimes you may say, I love her, so I know the intent.
Right.
But at times you be like, wait a minute now, okay now, you not a me, I understand who you are, your person, and I want the same. Don't let me, because sometimes, my mouth was our mouths. Maybe just me and Michelle's mouth. You know sometimes our mouths get the best of us, and while we don't intend to come off a certain way, sometimes I get it, because people say, "For you aggressive," one teacher was like, "You're using your hands, I think you're gonna hit me," and it's not. It's not. Why you using your hands? I'm not gonna hit you. I'm just passionate. Sometimes, when you're trying to get something across, and when you say things, it can come off wrong, but that may not be your intent.
Right.
So,
just it goes back to what Casey said last week when we said about telling the truth in love. She said to her, it's about the intent.
Yeah.
It's not, Jesus said some harsh things, but he still loved the people. He didn't sugarcoat nothing.
He definitely told
But he definitely loved, and he told them that way because of the love he had.
Right. And we don't really know his tone of voice. I mean, let's just be honest. We don't know his tone, how he said it. Because, I mean, if you think about it, to me, Jesus had a smart mouth. He had a smart mouth. So we don't have to really articulate how he really probably could have came on.
When I be reading stuff, I be reading it almost. I be reading it in Cretia and Michelle book. No, he didn't.
One thing for sure and two for
Right. I don't hear my life. I don't know.
What you think?
You could you not pray for an hour? I came back here 2 times. I came back. Y'all can't pray. Y'all can't.
Chicago.
Okay. And
We can't get out on the boat with you, right? And we going down.
and these people
On the boat.
That's my go-to. If I'm going through a storm, that's where I go. Because I'm saying to myself, if he doesn't slumber nor sleep, he's watching.
Mhm.
If adversity comes to build your faith, he's putting you through it. If the devil has to ask him if he can flick you like wheat, he has to get permission. So where I'm going,
Yeah.
I'm going to you.
Yeah.
I know you're tired. I know you're upset. Brandon, Michelle keep picking you up and everything. I'm on this boat. I know we ain't going down, but I need a talk. So I got right quick.
Right.
That's gonna go to right there. The part where you say, I know we're not gonna go down. Like, I know that you got my back. I know.
Yeah, that part right there. That part right there.
Now let's get back to this quote because we didn't got way off. And that's what somebody told me. Like, when y'all start talking about the Bible, you got excited. Hey, I tell you, it's not what goes out, it's not what goes in a man that defiles him, what goes out, right? And so it just comes out. It always
What in you comes out.
it just flows. But we're gonna get back to this quote because Vern ain't told us nothing. How you feel about this quote, Vern? A friend is someone who understands your past, believes in your future, and accepts you just the way you are.
I think y'all just about covered all the past.
No.
The past stuff. I'm gonna come from believes in your future. And the way I see it is almost like a connect the dots. Not everybody new who comes into your life needs to know your future, your past, or needs to understand it because you're not there anymore. You're right here now. So I'm bringing this person to where you are right now to get you to this point, and then so on and so forth. Now that you're at this point, so now I need to get you to this point, and it's like a continuum. So who I was is really not necessary in every case to know. So that's how I see it. It's always a connect the dots to get to the full picture. And how do you say to reach the full potential? So that's my goal. Not bringing people to know what happened back here, but to get you here. It's a continue forward movement. I think about that. I know we're talking about friendships, but I think about that. I think it's great advice for relationships. Usually you meet somebody and in that dating stage, what do? Well, I'm looking for this and I like this and this happened before. So now you done gave them a blueprint as far as what they have to manipulate, what they have to do and show to move forward. And what you're saying is don't give them that because you're giving them leverage, right? On how to trigger you and take you back to that place. But they met you here because they're supposed to help you get forward. Not relive the past. Imagine, have you ever seen Jurassic Park and all this forestry? Imagine the chicken is 55 feet ahead, and I brought someone to get you 55 feet ahead. They shouldn't have to go through when you bring up the past and I need you to understand who I was, and sometimes it's just too much. It's like you running through the forest and you're getting slapped with tree limbs and branches and you're like, when that's not necessary. I'm here now. Okay, so where do we go here? And they may last to the one after that, and they may not. But mission accomplished.
I agree. I think that's good. I think that's good. I agree. Like, people don't always need to know because, like Casey said, now they know how to manipulate you. They know how to, charge you up. They know what makes you tick because of who you used to be. And if that's something or somewhere that God delivered you from, and so now you want to enter a new relationship with a clean slate. It's like people don't need to know all that. I mean, like I like that we can have these conversations centered around, hey, this was my experience then, but this is how I'm different now, and this is how I'm gonna move forward now. But that don't always need to be said either because, it's like sharing that testimony is one thing, but entering a relationship explaining everything that happened previously is not necessary. It's like you don't have to announce that. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's a good, I like that she brought that point up. It's about future. Because I met you at this place in this season of my life. So why do you need to know what took place in previous seasons? Whether it broke me, made me, whatever, I'm moving forward with you.
And I think that's okay in a friendship. I
Mhm.
think that when I think like Michelle was talking about, like she wanted no new friends because she had all these friends from the past that already knew her past. Well, now she has a new group of friends, and we know glimpses, right? She shares it here and there. Well, I know, but I'm just saying, as far as y'all are her friends, she shares glimpses of it. But in order for y'all to be her friend, y'all still accept her right now where she's at into her future, right? And then whatever she shares, and that goes for pretty much all of us. No one here knows everyone's past, right? You don't know everything about me. And that's okay. And I can even see you, Vern, even saying that because there's a lot of things that that I don't really know about your past for real, for real. You don't know about my past, but you're still on this journey with me here in the present, and you're going and walking with me side by side to the future. And so I received that. I thank you for sharing that because that opened up my eyes of understanding of what this really is, and it's okay.
I hear my old pastors used to say all the time, some things is between you and Jesus.
Right.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, if y'all really knew about my past, you probably wouldn't be sitting at this table. But I'm just saying, I'm joking. But I'm just saying, I'm just saying, I'm just saying, but I'm just saying, that's the extreme of it.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Like you just never know what people been through, and if you judge people based on their past, then you may not be their friend today.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And just allow people to move forward in their testimony, but you ain't got to know all that. Just know that God has brought them a mighty long way. Some people been prostitutes, crackheads, strippers, whatever. You don't have to know that to know that they've been delivered. Come on.
No. I'm sorry, Vern. Say that again.
I said the testimony will come to those who need it.
Right.
You can't cast out pearls before.
Swine.
Right. So whoever needs the testimony at that appointed time, that's who get it, and it'll do what it's supposed to do.
Amen.
Why is that? Well, Casey, for those from podcast land, because if I gave you told me you're not hungry, right? So if I sit in front of you a plate with steak, baked potato, rice, all your favorite fixings, you're not going to eat it because you already ate, right? So if I put it in front of someone who is famished, what are they going to do?
They don't eat it.
They're going to eat it because why? They need it at that appointed time. Look at you.
Come on, preach.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, wait.
Come on, pull it out, Casey. Come on, pull it out, Casey. Pull it out. Pull it out.
So,
Cheers.
she quiet one.
She pulled it out. She pulled it out.
That's what I'm saying. That's all it is. So, did anybody have anything else to share in regards to this quote? Because we about to just wrap it up.
Feel like after hearing what everybody had to say.
That not everything is for an appointed season. You don't have to disclose everything all at once because people can manipulate you. And I think that's one of the things we talked about was manipulation within friendships. And the present is you are where you are because of your past.
Facts.
So that means you still here, it didn't break you.
Come on
It's
now.
shaking you, but you still here.
But you're
still
standing, Molly.
Yes.
You're not going there today.
Hashtag mom. And the future is, It's what's ahead. It's because it's the sky. The sky is the limit.
No, it's just a view. The sky is not the limit. It's just a view.
There ain't no limit to the sky. You better say that.
So deep.
Yes, there's no limit to the sky.
It's like getting five. It's like a 5 year.
Yes.
The sky is the view.
The sky is
Sky
the
is
view.
not the limit. It's just the
It's the
view.
view. Facts. There's no limit.
Sorry.
No limit.
Well, that's Bible too, because the Bible says that there's no limit to what God can do.
Mhm.
So if He's limitless, then why do we limit ourselves?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
And He made
no
us
limits, no
and His
boundaries.
likeness, right?
I see increase all around me. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the psalmist, when he wrote that, I mean, he was spitting facts, no limits. You know, we limit ourselves.
Facts.
And so we just have to be willing to go beyond
Mhm.
beyond.
Come on now, that was good, y'all. There ain't nothing else to be said after that. Hopefully today, I'm talking about ladies, all you that are listening, hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you think about your past, you realize you're now in the present. That's what really is key now. When it comes to friendships, relationships, start right where you're at, who you are right now. Remember that you made it. I love that you said that, Casey, that you made it through. Whatever has happened in your past, don't forget about it. Because it's what made you, but know that you have a future that is limitless, right? The sky is not the limit, right? We recognize that it's the view. So on today, ladies, we're going to end on that note because this was an awesome time. Hopefully, ladies, you all got something from it. Like I do, I feel good. After the podcast, I'll be like, "Woo, yes, let's go!" And so hopefully, you feel that same energy out there in podcast land. All right, y'all. Our friendship journey on 3, 1.
Why do we get caught up every time she say that?
Every time she say it. Tony, this is what we need you. I be messing up now. Our friendship journey on 3. 1, 2, 3. Our friendship journey. See you in 2 weeks. Yeah.